Lance Lang, founder, executive director, Hope is Alive. We're celebrating 10 years as an organization this year. But to get you kind of how I got to this place, I'm an Oklahoma guy, born and raised Pryor, Oklahoma. Found my way to Oklahoma City about 15 years ago. And about the time that I made it here, I began to struggle really heavily with opiates. I could tell you the whole backstory of how I fell into addiction and all those things. But at the end of the day, what really took me down was a dependency on opiates. And so I always like to compare it, because today there's so many documentaries, there's so many TV shows. Like if you've seen Dope Sick, that's pretty much like my story to a T. I just watched a new one on HBO Max about pill mills in Florida. And I mean, that was very, representative of what I looked like, about 15 years ago and the struggles that I fell into. But, I was a business guy, and my job was to take folks out and earn their business. So I was a salesperson, really. And the opiates gave me kind of a rush and a euphoria. And for a while, I thought they were helping me do my job until they weren't. But I became a 50 pill a day drug addict.
Wow.
And my life was in complete darkness and devastation. And you can just think of down and out, darkness, lost everything. That was me. And thank the Lord, I was intervened on in April of 2011, sent to a treatment center. Felt an unbelievable calling, if you will, a spiritual calling to help other men initially, and then eventually women and their families through this journey of this thing called sobriety and changing your life. And so I took everything that I'd ever learned from my dad and everything that I found through marketing and sales and kind of put it all into this thing called Hope is Alive. And February of 2013, opened our first home here in Oklahoma City and invited 5 other guys to come and live with me, and created this holistic long-term program with my wife. And it's been very successful. We've had a lot of people that we've been able to help, and that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? I mean, we're in an epidemic of addiction, so unfortunately, there is so many people to help. But thankfully, we've been able to help a lot of people at the same time through our mentoring homes, now of which we have 25 in 12 cities in 6 states, over 200 men and women that are in our program across the country. And about halfway through this past 10 years, we began to help the families as well through this thing called Finding Hope. These are free support groups for moms and dads and loved ones. We have over 40 of those across the country, many of which are right here in Oklahoma. So there's a long intro, but that's a little bit about me and what we do.